That's right. I get worked up.
15 executive session.
Sorry, guys.
So don't get into
Mike, can you send me? You're good. I'll keep him here.
Okay, thanks. We get a call yesterday morning about 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
taking my dad to the hospital.
Oh, no.
They say he's like gurgling, They thought it was pneumonia. So I get up there, my brother, man, he can't even put water in, it comes out. They said, we can't find his partial. I said, but he swallowed it. Took him to Joe's. Look at this. Took him to Joe's. That's what happened. But they didn't have a flexible tool to get it out.
Get out of here.
They called the ENT. Well, we don't have a flexible tool.
We have
Come on, we'll get one.
pass those.
Yeah, so they go like, hold on. And they made him spend the night because of infection,
They couldn't go down there with a scope.
Yeah, guy up there, no, Loyola had no problem. Wait, here, look at this. Here's the front view when they showed it. See it?
Oh my God, what was it?
It was right at the partial
Oh,
denture.
jeez.
And then here, look
That's
at
stuck
yeah.
on it.
There it is there.
We'd go down in there,
That's
force
it,
it, and
that's
pulled
it.
it right out.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, it is.
Bob Ocon left.
My iPad says 5:31. Welcome, everyone. This is the meeting of the pre-council on Monday, March 4th, 2019 at 5:30, presided by Mayor Bob Odekirk.
We'll begin with roll call. Mayor Odekirk.
Here.
Councilman Dickinson.
Here.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Here.
Councilman Girl.
Here.
Councilman Hug.
Here.
Councilman Morris. Absent. Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Quillman.
Here.
Councilman Turk.
Here. Hey,
First, we have citizens to be heard on
Can't be
agenda
Joliet.
items. Is there anyone present that would like to speak on an agenda item this evening? Seeing none, we'll pass it over to the city manager to discuss tomorrow night's agenda items.
They run through the agenda. Catholic Charities will be giving a presentation on Daybreak Shelter tomorrow. CTIS and Public Service will provide their reports. There are 3 items on the consent agenda: approval of minutes and 2 payrolls. There are no license applications, permit applications, or public hearings. Under ordinances, Council Memo 105-19, ordinance amending and restating Ordinance 176A3, which established salary ranges and fringe benefits for exempt employees. The council memo is lengthy, but I'm going to just briefly summarize the ordinance. It's something that we as directors have been working on since November of this past year. The ordinance addresses the comp on 2 fronts. Number 1, what to do with the banks of comp time existing, and 2, accumulation and use of comp time moving forward. Bottom line, it's an issue that has been very long time in the making, and the proposal addresses the comp. Just to give you some examples, employees like directors and I shouldn't be receiving comp time. Many of the directors have 500 plus hours of comp time. This reclassifies this as flex time with a cap. We, the directors, are going to lose these banks of comp time, but we shouldn't have these anyways. So if you have any questions on the remaining classes of employees, let me know. I did send out a draft to the impacted employees a few weeks ago. Council Memo 106-19, ordinance providing for the addition of regulations of and applications for small wireless facilities of the City of Joliet Court of Ordinances. The state enacted the Small Wireless Facility Deployment Act regulating small cells, which are the small antennas you sometimes see in the top of power poles. Home rule communities, i.e. Joliet, we are precluded from deviating from state statute, so the proposed ordinance essentially follows the state statute. For your information, the vast majority of the small wireless facilities are not found on the city poles because our lights are on a grid system and not powered 100% of the time. Next is Council Memo 107-19, ordinance amending Chapter 4, Section 4-47, removal of alcoholic beverages from premises, allowing the sealing and removal of open wine bottles from a restaurant. State statute was amended effective January of 2014 to allow for restaurants to allow patrons to take home unfinished bottles of wine so long as the bottle is securely sealed by the licensee prior to removal from the premises and placed in a transparent one-time use tamper-proof bag. Many of our surrounding communities already allow this, and I believe we have one of the business owners here in support of that ordinance. Do you have any questions?
I think it's a good idea.
Council Memo 108-19, ordinance amending Chapter 4, Section 4-30, allowing for the sale of alcoholic beverages to commence at 9:00 a.m. on Sunday. Current regulations prohibit the sale prior to 10 a.m. This moves the time back 1 hour to accommodate some of the brunch crowds at our local restaurants. Resolutions, the first four are really self-explanatory. Home subrecipient agreement between Will County and City Joliet. Resolution appropriating funds for a Douglas Street Knox Place roadway improvement. Resolution approving an agreement with IDOT, Phase 2 of Garnsey Ave over Spring Creek. And resolution approving funds for Phase 2 engineering for Garnsey Avenue over Spring Creek. The fifth, Council Memo 114-19, resolution requesting funding for the design and construction of US 6 between I-55 and Terminal Court. This is a joint resolution between Shanahan, Will County, and Joliet for the two-lane portion of Route 6 between approximately, again, Hobart and west beyond the Joliet-Shanahan boundary. This doesn't commit to any funds, but rather a joint request to IDOT. It was approved by Shanahan at their meeting on February 4th. Council Memo 115-19, resolution declaring certain City of Joliet property as surplus. City of Joliet has 36,513 feet of installed conduit. Upon declaring this property surplus, the city intends to sell it to the highest bidder.
Sorry.
Under bids and contracts, the items were reviewed by Public Service Committee earlier this evening. We'll report on any issues during committee report tomorrow. And that's all I have. Toss it back to the clerk.
Next is public comments. Is there anyone that'd like to speak under public comments? We do have a request for closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition or conveyance, pending or threatened litigation, discussion of closed meeting minutes, after which the meeting will be adjourned?
So moved.
Second.
The motion and seconded. Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Ponder this for an hour. Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudron. Councilwoman Coleman.
Okay, we broke all kinds of records with the cold. This is the fastest pre-council meeting I have ever attended, I think, in the history of this council. I will vote aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried.
That was good.